With GitHub is working. It could do more. Let's see here. Day 8. Homework. So as he pointed out, when you refresh, you very briefly see the sign-in page.
Can you log out for a second and then try to log back into GitHub? And it just goes back automatically.
Mm-hmm.
Should there be a sign-in page?
Not if you've already authorized your GitHub account. It should just, you're already signed into GitHub. So clicking sign in with GitHub, as long as you're already logged into GitHub, will just sign you right in. The very first time you ever do it with a particular application, it'll prompt you.
What if I want to sign in with another GitHub account?
How do you do that? You may need to actually sign out of GitHub on the GitHub website.
So this is only in the browser, right? So if I open this in Firefox or something, and then it prompts me for the browser.
Yeah, if you weren't already signed into GitHub. So if you sign out of GitHub, you'll be prompted again. So as long as it's only as long as you're signed into GitHub. So see if you can if you're signed in, it briefly shows the sign-in component before showing main. Fix that. So here's an idea. What if you just store the UID in local storage? Then it'll load it right away. You'll see your notes. And then if authentication fails, we can clear that out. So maybe try that. Maybe try storing UID in local storage and loading that before you call. Well, just do that in component did mount. That'll happen a lot faster than a call to an API.
So it'll just happen first, so it'll stop it before it goes.
It just won't show you that very brief sign-in page if you're already signed in. Yeah, it'll just show the main component faster. So another problem, yeah, we have multiple users, but we only have one set of notes. So no matter who you are, you're getting the same list of notes out of here. Scope notes by user. Let each user have their own array of notes. How would you do that? Well, maybe in the database, instead of just being .notes, it would be .username.notes. So how could you do that? In main, when we call sync state, or whatever it's called, sync state, we say just notes there. What if the UID were part of that string? Hold on just a second. Try changing the endpoint argument to base.syncState. What are you saying?
I mean, technically, you can only use one user here since we haven't used Google.
Right. So that's a good point. Add Google authentication. Yeah. So add Google authentication. or Twitter authentication or Facebook or whatever you want. Just add another form of authentication. Anything that's supported by Firebase. If you want to add a username and password, you can do that too. You can totally do that in Firebase. If you're signed in, it briefly shows the signing component before showing main. Fix that. Try storing UID in local storage. And scope the notes by user. Let each user have their own array of notes. Try changing the endpoint. See if that works. Is there anything that's not quite working right other than that? Anything else that we should do to improve this at this point? Does that seem reasonable? I know when you're asking a room full of students, would you like even more homework for this weekend? No? I'm surprised. Okay. Add day. Gosh dang, this day 8 already? Day 8 homework.
Did you also commit this to base.js?
So if you're gonna actually host this on that is a good point. Wait. So we added stuff to base.js that is not in base.example, right? Yeah, let's update that. Base example. So this is out of date now, right? So we need to make sure auth is in there. Everybody's moved on. I will see your base.example.js do this. And let's just make sure all this stuff at the bottom is the same. So you want to make sure that this is up to date. Huh? Oh, yeah, that was the idea. Now, when this is deployed, it will not work without a real base.js. So, update rebase config example. Yep. All right, that's it. Have a good weekend. What are you guys doing tomorrow? Is there a thing? You remember what it is?